This is going to be the Oculus as a Mistweaver Monk. A Wrath of the Lich King dungeon that apparently has gotten a bit of a reputation. I don't remember it being this way back when it was current, but one person cries upon entering this dungeon, another person just immediately leaves, and like all the other times I've been here since this, everybody's just been like, oh no, the Oculus! Everybody hates this for some reason. I can guess at the reasons, but I don't actually know why. It doesn't seem that bad to me. It's a little weird. Kind of an unusual dungeon. We are not in the dungeon queue right now. There we go. I could have done that. Any member of the party can when somebody leaves. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, so anyway, what's this? A paladin tank, some sort of rogue, some sort of death knight, and some sort of something else. Am I seeing arcane bolts? Is there, as always, an arcane mage? And I see a fireball. No, that's a fire mage. Neat. Okay. Also, if you're noticing this video is going up at an unusual time, it's because I just straight up forgot yesterday. I was thinking today, like, did I have to record one of these? Oh, I was supposed to do that yesterday. Whoops. It happens. Since these aren't really on the schedule, I just kind of happen to do them at the same time, you know. Just whenever is convenient. Twice a week happens to work for me. Anyway, yeah, so what level am I? I don't think anything much has changed since last thingy. Now that I have mastery... Wait, I have mastery, right? Am I at level 78? In which case that will have changed, won't it? I'm trying to skin, but things are hitting me with magic missiles and not letting me. Okay, can I get out of combat for a moment? No, that whelp won't let me. For some reason I refuse to approach it and I just kill it with crackling jade lightning. 77, okay, I'm one level short of mastery. Experience bar says it probably won't happen this dungeon. Okay. Well, what am I wearing? Huh. Okay. Anyway. So, Tank's also a skinner. He's taking his time. Getting all his skins from everybody. That's fine, you can do that. So yeah, my guess at why this dungeon is so widely disliked is that it's vertical and involves some vehicle combats. So one, it's hard to navigate. Two, for some of the encounters you just don't really even get to use your character's abilities. You get these weird pre-made things that are, I don't know. There might be other reasons. Those are my first guesses. So navigation's hard and... some encounters are not the way you'd probably want them to be. Not most of them. There's really only one vehicle encounter here. I say vehicle. You ride on the back of a dragon, but you know, it's a... dragon counts as a vehicle in this case. We're kind of competing for all these icy dragon scales. Yeah, he's taking his time. Not in any kind of hurry. Band of variants, yeah, so we're on a little semicircle here. So yeah, bunch of weird verticality. There will be flying in this dungeon, which I guess is really unusual. This is the only dungeon where you get free flight? It might be, now that I think about it. Because yeah, in some dungeons you can mount up on your mount, including your flying one, but flight on those mounts is always disabled, I think? I'm certainly not thinking of any place where you can just get on a flying mount and fly wherever you want in the dungeon. Except sort of this one. So yeah, not casting a whole lot of healing spells here. I just noticed because I just started hearing Mistweaver noises and it's like, oh, I haven't been using those. But things are moving at a glacial pace here, so... that might be part of the reason. Been playing this character a bit more lately, actually taking her to dungeons. There's a time-walking event right now for Wrath of the Lich King dungeons, and I've been doing those, and it's been fun. They're actually tuned to be kind of a challenge. This one is not in the rotation. Time walking, unfortunately, doesn't include every dungeon in the expansion that it's for. So time walking's for like 1 week out of a month, 2 weeks out of the month, something like that. Targets a particular expansion from Burning Crusade to Warlords of Draenor, cycling on the calendar. So it's Wrath now, then it'll be Cataclysm, then it'll be Pandaria, etc. And has like 5 or 6 dungeons from that expansion that are in the rotation. Mists of Pandaria, as it happens, has only 6 dungeons. It's kind of weird. It's like the expansion with by far the least amount of dungeons. I would not have been super happy, I feel like, if I had played while it was current. Although, there was also Heroic Scholomance and Scarlet Halls and Scarlet Monastery. So I guess when it was current, you essentially had 9 dungeons. Just 3 of them were redone old ones. Okay, so go through the Band of Variants, get to a portal. There's a boss there. I don't remember what this dude does.
Prisoners shall not go free. The word of Malagos is
I see that there's a quest turning point in a cage there. Malagos, which one is he? I forget. Some dragon or other. Okay, so he casts a spell that pulls you to him, which usually means there's going to be a reason you want to be far away. Whoa! Okay, I used Revival. It got everybody back to full. I didn't actually see what caused that damage, just he pulled everybody in, then like 2 seconds later, there it was again. Everybody took a bunch of damage. Is it those little beacons that are coming out and doing arcane explosions? Maybe. But then wouldn't you want to be close? Because he's in a dead zone where there aren't any. So anyway, yeah, this dungeon's not in the time-walking rotation. You only get some of them, except when it's Pandaria, because there were only 6, and I think all 6 are in the rotation. Yeah, it's a good system, but not perfect. Okay, yeah, so here comes part of the weird part of this dungeon. Everybody's down a bit, so I can work on them for a moment. So these 3 people over here are all actually dragons, I think. Or dragon representatives. Yeah, you have a dragon name. So you need a little bit of knowledge here. Oh boy, somebody's talking for a long time.
I will see to it personally that the Oculus does not fall into your hands.
Can I talk now? Okay, so I want to fly on the wings of a green drake. You know, in a random dungeon finder scenario, you want to just know what to do here and not have to read and take a while to parse through it. So you can choose a bronze, a red, or a green dragon to fly with. Then for the rest of the dungeon, you have this little beak that summons a flying mount. And while on... yeah, DPS get bronze dragon. Okay, so instructions are going out here. Healer wants green, tank wants red, damage dealer wants bronze, as I understand it. And then everybody flies away and gets separated and lost and nobody knows where to go. This is a pretty typical experience here. Eventually, people figure out who knows where they're going, move to that person's location, land on something. There's a Death Knight way down there who's still figuring out what to do. There are also things in the air to fight. That dragon I was riding had some abilities. And I could have used them. Where is... okay, you're down there. Trying to figure it out. Not quite sure where to go. We're over here. You got green. Okay, so we have 2 greens, I guess. He didn't listen to the instructions. Alright, so 2 green dragons. Or emerald or whatever. Ooh, hefty damage. Well, yeah, you're... Why did you have all the threats? Huh. I'm beginning to think this Death Knight might be in a little bit over his head here. That's fine, though. You gotta learn somehow. Alright, so Centrifuge Constructs up there. 9 remaining, 8 remaining, so next dungeon goal appears to be to take these out. I wonder what it would say in objectives if I had my objectives expanded. It'd probably tell me about like what the next step in the dungeon is. But, you know, not very many words, so you kind of have to... Still just have to know. Alright, Emerald Essence. Calls down Emerald Drake, you can mount and ride into battle. So I think I see the red. Ruby. So ruby, emerald, and bronze. 2 gemstones and a metal. Okay, Emerald Drake is whispering how to use its abilities. Yeah, so a little bit of aerial combat here. Yeah, so this is the vehicle thing that I'm talking about. So use Leeching Poison to damage enemies and keep me healed. Touch the Nightmare is powerful, but it hurts me, so only use when I have a lot of health. I think the aerial enemies don't bother you once you land. That might not be true. So we're going to clear these out before everybody sends their dragons away. I have seen Death Knights totally grip these, death grip these flying dragons down onto the ground. And just try to kill them with character abilities. That's always fun. So hang on, if there are 7 centrifuge constructs remaining, and there are 3 on each of these rings, one of them must have 4, or one of them must have 1 or something. I'm taking such a laid-back approach to this. I guess the paladin kind of set the tone at the first, at the dungeon entrance. Just going nice and slow, skinning everything as they go along, you know. Nobody is in a hurry. It's nice. One of the most annoying things I find in a dungeon is when somebody is in a super big hurry and is like, hey, pull more, go faster. Let's go, let's go, let's go. You know. I do, when I am the dungeon leader, I do enjoy going at a reasonably fast pace, you know, a steady pace. That tends to be decently fast. Oh, are we not going here? Maybe. Nobody knows. But yeah, I mean, like, being urged to go faster is never productive for anybody, honestly. We have 3 Emerald Drakes. Oh, that's probably not ideal. Is that what I'm seeing? 1 ruby, 1 bronze, yeah, 3 emeralds. Well, I have the right one. The green's the healer dragon. 2 people need to switch. But we'll see what happens with them. Yeah, so each type of dragon has different abilities. So I have Leeching Poison, apparently something called Touch the Nightmare, which is number 2. Okay, so Leeching Poison would be... apply a damage over time effect to my target, which also heals the dragon. Then my number 2 ability uses some of the dragon's health for heavy damage. Okay then, why do I have emote sounds on right now? That's unusual. Alright. Number 3 is ask the dragon what the next step is in the dungeon. So yeah, I mean, like, dungeon designers here knew this was a confusing place and put in a mechanism just to tell you, like, what you're supposed to do. I don't know if I've ever pressed that button, though. It's just that, like, in this environment, anything that requires you to stop and read and parse through text and, you know, pay attention to something like that rather than what the rest of the group is doing just seems like it doesn't really work. I mean, with the right group it could, but, you know, you can't really trust anybody you get in the random dungeon finder. So you have to play in kind of a low-trust environment. It's part of the fun, you know, just there are ways to deal with a low-trust environment like that. I think I figured out how to thrive in such an environment, but that does not include, you know, close coordination and heavy communication and, like, reading stuff. When that stuff is required, it can turn into a higher trust environment. You know, people actually communicate and coordinate and decide what to do. And that's fun in its own way. It's just that you can't count on that to happen smoothly when you throw 5 random strangers together. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's easier to just make it so it doesn't have to. Whoa, my mana bar. Ooh, I've been using my heals a lot. Definitely not doing efficiency healing right now. And also, like, there's a lot of party-wide damage going on. Where are we going? What are we doing? Does anybody know? Maybe. I'm drinking, apparently. Okay, yeah, so there are... Yeah, so on this ring, the Band of Acceleration, I guess, must be the last 2 centrifuge constructs over here. Okay, so 2 of them had 3 each, the outer rings. Then this particular one has the last 4. Okay, that's how it is. I'm gonna need to know this for when I'm the dungeon leader here, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. Are people just, like, standing and stuff? Like, what is going on here? Why everybody take so much damage? I know there are ground effects to stand in, but I'm not seeing any. Snowflake creates, like, a field of frost on the ground that's pretty nasty. I guess everybody's standing in it and I just can't really see it clearly from here? I'm not. I'm not taking the damage. Apparently I know better. Everybody else either doesn't or just assumes I'll make up for it. That is fine. That's what I'm doing. He'll eat some repair bills, but, you know, they're not that expensive. What, I'm just channeling Soothing Mist on him? What a weird choice, but okay. I guess I'm going for efficiency. Alright, so I'm standing in a blizzard right now. I can see the icon, I can see the things falling on the screen. That's not dealing as much damage to me as I was seeing from the other places, though. Also not totally sure why we're taking out these centrifuge constructs other than that it's necessary to move on in the dungeon. Alright, so I think we're done here, and dragons get summoned for the next step, which is up above? Or over there. I see that dragon hybrid dude. Where am I going? Do I know? I guess I'm trying to dodge all the flying dragons and get over here. Everybody else is just going right through them. Oh, it's amber, not bronze. Okay. So 2 gemstones and a tree sap. Pharaoh's Cloudstrider, he was talking to me earlier. What does he do? Stuff. Didn't look like anything super important I had to pay attention to. But good to take a glance at that if I am not sure. If it's been a while since I fought the whatever. Okay, yeah, so just beam of nasty that you don't want to stand in, which of course everybody's standing directly in. Ouch! Except I'm the only one who's taking damage. What? I got zapped. I got zapped again. Okay, that time everybody took it. Why did only I get... Ah! Yeah, this doesn't look too good. Maybe it's fine. The damage stopped. Okay, so just like lightning on everybody periodically, it seems. I should really be drinking my healing elixirs. It's fine though. Is it? I don't know. Nobody's died yet? I'm keeping busy. Alright, well, that worked somehow. The Trickster Magelord Uram something something, third ring something something. Many, many words. This is a wordy dungeon. There's a quest to turn in there. I'm walking right away from it. Flying right away from it. Can't do it on a dragon. Gotta get off. There we go. Alright, so Magelord Uram. You go up here, fight him a few times until he decides to actually fight. I was having an experience here, apparently.
What do we have here?
Oh right, you attack him, then he leaves. Yeah, okay, so this is about what healing has looked like in the Time Walking dungeons that I've done. So up at 120, it still gives, like, this kind of experience. You know, I gotta be hitting the health bars that hard with my spells in order to keep people alive. It's pretty cool. I appreciate that it is balanced in such a way that, like, I really have to do stuff. Again, my least favorite kind of dungeon is one where I never have to cast a healing spell. At least assuming I'm playing the healer. Which is often, because it is my favorite role. A lot of dancing going on. Man, this is like the most leisurely pace I've seen in just about any dungeon that I've done. Everybody's really taking their time. Frost Bomb. Okay, that's what I was thinking was happening back when we were fighting the centrifuge constructs, but no, that's in this fight. Well, not this fight yet. We're not there. So yeah, I think it's 3 of these little phantasmal encounters, and then Magelord Uram will decide to actually fight us himself. Still skinning. Well, you know what? That's fine. Alright, last Mage Lord Uram, Phantasmal Creatures encounter, I think. Band of Transmutation.
Still you fight. Still you cling to misguided principles. If you survive, you'll find me in the center ring.
He says survive a really weird way there. Looks like I've just given up on the idea of doing any attacks. Just because damage has been so heavy here, I need to, well, okay, I can crack the Jade Lightning, I guess. Damage has been so heavy here, I just need to focus on healing. Don't want to distract myself and lose sight of the health bars for a moment, because in that moment people would be dying. Oh boy, dancing again. You know what's nice about this group? Everybody's patient. Production is setting the pace, and nobody is taking it upon themselves to... Oh wait, I talked about this already. I don't like people who rush people. I like a fast pace, but I also... more than that, I like a group that gets along together. There's that frost bomb. I'm standing right in it, so is everybody else except for the mage. And some kind of skeleton archer. What the heck is this? Hold on. Death Knights now get skeleton archer minions? I didn't know this. Huh. Hide behind pillar when he's at center. Right, yes. I remember this attack from way back then. Get out of his line of sight. Try not to stand in the frost bomb, though. Alright, Death Morty, not too surprisingly at this point, did not stand in a safe place. He's been having trouble all dungeon. So if anybody was not going to be able to follow that instructions, it was going to be him. Those instructions. It seems to be his first time here. So he'll just learn by dying, I guess. Yeah, I gotta go through the frost bomb here because there's a huge field of it. It's not hurting me that much, I guess. Yeah, I gotta stand here. Okay, it's much less deadly than I remembered. Alright, everybody passed the line of sight check. I'd like to save this mage if I can. Looks like I can. Yeah, so the thing about Frost Bomb is, you know, you can drag him out of it, but he's just going to put it down again from wherever you take him. There he goes. He does it a lot. I don't know what's the best way to handle this. So it deals damage and slows down your movement. It's kind of nasty. And yeah, then... oh boy, am I going to make it with Tiger's Lust, maybe? Yes. Rogue had some trouble. She's alive, though. Another one of these. We are down a damage dealer, so of course this will take a bit longer than it would otherwise. Well, not bothering with hiding that time. Alright, where's this Death Knight? There he is. We've gone all the way back around to his location.
You cannot comprehend the forces of the ley line will not be disrupted. Your defeat.
Huh. Everybody except me in this dungeon is a blood elf, I'm just noticing. It's a very popular race for some reason. To the top. Alright. So 3 greens, 1 red, and 1 bronze. You know, 3 emeralds, 1 amber, and 1 ruby. That's what it is. That chest there is going to open when we defeat Legardian Aragos. Alright, so here's the vehicle combat section. Now that I am at my full power, I can perform Dream Funnel. Used to heal other drakes, drains my health. Okay, yeah, so you'd like apply Leeching Poison, then either touch the Nightmare if you want to deal damage, or, what's it called? Dream Funnel if somebody needs healing. So that's what that's like. My 2 and 3 will both spend health, 1 will gain it back. So I'm trying to help that Ruby Drake, but it's taking way too much damage for that Dream Funnel to keep up. What happened there? Why did you take so much damage? I'm not really sure. Alright, so we lost one. Alright, lost another one. I'm trying to do stuff. I'm going to be the next one to go down, it looks like. No, I'm alive. Somehow. I got some healing from something. Whoa! So I think part of the problem here is there's a bunch of whelps shooting at everybody. Yeah, Legardian Aragos is not the only one in the air here, so we'd be better off... Hey, enemy nameplates, look at that, I can see, kinda. So it looks like I'm trying to, trying to keep up here, but this is not going to go well. I'm really just delaying the inevitable. And yeah, since I don't have my character abilities, you know, I can't, like, use Revival or Life Cocoon or anything. Hey, I was the last one standing here. How about that? I don't know if that means I did it well or I did it poorly, or, you know, I'm just making this take longer than it needs to. Anyway, I should just be giving up here. There's no way I'll win this. Oh, his health's kinda low, though. That's probably why I was still going. I survived that fall for a moment. But just for a moment. Okay, so let's try that again. Orb of the what now? Orb of the Nexus. What's that? That's probably the way out of the dungeon if you haven't used the dungeon finder and can't just teleport out. Right, yes. Everybody who's not me or production needs an Amber Dragon. Gotta switch. Okay, yeah, so Maul here, the mage, seems to be familiar with this dungeon. Death Morty definitely seems not to. And, right, yeah, so Amber Drake has some sort of time stop. That's what happened there. It's pretty nice. If you have enough of them, you can just pretty much keep time stopped for most of the dungeon. So why is it not viable to just take 5 of them? Maybe it is. I'm not sure what the Ruby one does off the top of my head. But yeah, I think Amber has time stop and some basic attack, and it must have a third ability, but I don't know what it is. The only role I've brought to this dungeon in recent memory is... No, that's not true. I was here as a damage dealer. My Fury Warrior ran this dungeon, but I don't remember how it went. Anyway, yeah, haven't been a tank here in years. Okay, so that went fine. Death Knight wasn't even on his dragon or something? Well, we did it. My reward is a little bit of money. And a quest reward of some bracers. Well, that's nice, I guess. Alright, well that was the Oculus. What a dungeon. So it just seems like it's a bunch of little things all together that maybe make everybody hate it so much. I don't think it's that bad, like even just watching this, you know. All of the all the things can be dealt with, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, see you next time.